Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your March tarot forecast. I keep wanting to say February because I got into such a groove with my last videos. So I have to do a little extra thinking before I say it out loud. I'm just getting the rest of your cards just to, oh, goodness. This way. And one more. All right. Okay, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just quickly explain my spread really fast so you guys know kind of what we are getting into, and then I will get started. So up in this top row, we have the main themes of the month, big things that might be happening for you in the month of March. In the middle row, we have unexpected challenges and then ways to overcome them, or just any difficulties you might be facing. And in the bottom, we have just kind of like lenses to look through throughout the month, different perspectives, maybe of viewing situations or decisions or anything of that nature. And then along the outside, we have some oracle cards just kind of pertaining to the cards that they're nearby and the message as a whole. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. For your guys' main topics for the month, starting out, we have the Page of Wands. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And then the 9 and 10 of Pentacles that came out together. So initially, you guys have a lot of Pentacle energy. Let's start with this 7. Actually, let me not start with the 7. I'm gonna kind of start with the 7. So right off the bat, looking at the Page of Wands next to the 7 of Pentacles, I'm really drawn to his staff, because his staff in my mind is kind of mimicking the shovel handle over here that the 7 of Pentacles is holding. And, pages are enthusiasm. They are kind of like the beginning of the court cards, sort of similar to an ace, in my opinion, in the regular tarot suit. But they are inspiration, they're new ideas, enthusiasm, anything like that. So what I really love with these two cards being kind of connected in this way, and the fact that interesting. Okay. So if you look at them in the way that I have them laid out, he is looking at the pentacles, right? But this page that has the wand that I said is very similar to, it could be the same staff to make this shovel. He is looking at him. So there's even more correspondence and interaction between these two cards, even in just the perspectives that they're looking at. So to me, what this is really saying is that, well, 7 of Pentacles is talking about, what is the phrase? There's a phrase and I can't think of it, but it's getting, like sowing what you planted. It's you're harvesting these seeds that you've planted, these situations, relationships, choices, creative endeavors, new jobs, new learning venture, anything that is something that you could be putting a lot of effort and time and care and cultivation into. And now they are blooming. They're turning into these plants. They're turning into something that we now can get a harvest or some sort of reciprocity for our efforts now that it's had time to grow and all that kind of stuff. So this Page of Wands to me is saying that you have this inspiration for something creative, because wands are creativity. They are bringing something into existence, manifestation. So you have this inspiration for something that you want to bring into existence. And I believe this thing to be something either in the material world, or it is something that you want to use maybe to have an income. Maybe you have a new job that you want to do, or a new role in life as well. Because you do have a lot of pentacles up here. So I believe what this is saying is that you guys have this desire to start whatever this creative endeavor is. And I would like to really point out, when I say creative endeavor, I think people automatically think of actual art, or actual creation of art. And a lot of people, in my experience, will self-identify as not creative at all. So I just want to clarify for anyone watching this who self-identifies as not creative. And so when I say creative endeavor, there's kind of a roadblock in your mind on, oh, well, that's not applicable to me. This can be anything. When I say creative endeavor, I just mean something that was not, that now is. Okay, that simple. If you want to get a new job, you want to start a new business, maybe you want to patent a project, or anything. I'm trying to give examples that maybe people wouldn't view as creative things, but they still are creative things. Creativity is just making something is that wasn't. So just a little note and aside on that. Let's keep going with this. So you have this creative endeavor, this project, this new thing that you feel very passionate about. You have a lot of enthusiasm for. Now, if you carry that enthusiasm over, okay, wand, shovel. If you carry that enthusiasm over, you're going to be able to reap the benefits of the efforts you're going to put into whatever this thing is. And it's important to note that, you have the Seven of Pentacles, which in conjunction with this 9 and 10 of Pentacles, because 9 and 10 of Pentacles, that's the ending of the cycle, right? This is ultimate internal and external prosperity, abundance, fulfillment, success. These two cards together are very powerful. This is saying that you're not only, have satisfied now your own amount of success and fulfillment and needs, but this is now like a legacy, an everlasting wheel that you're putting into momentum. So let's say that there's this, my nose is itching. I don't know who did that, but I felt it. So let's say that this idea of this pentacle success, so financials, body, health, anything in the material world, let's say we're representing it by, excuse me, by a large pentacle, right? And let's say it's at the top of a hill, but at the top of the hill, it's flat. So we have this circle sitting at the top of the hill, and my hands are probably out of the frame. You have a circle sitting at the top of the hill, and I hope that this mic situation is not crazy. I'll be a little more cognizant of it. But because it's on a flat surface and there's no wind, there's no nothing, it's just sitting there, right? But if you can push it, give it a little momentum, right? 9 of Pentacles. Then once it hits that drop off and starts rolling down the hill, okay, well now we're in motion, right? And that's going to continue going in that direction unless we have something that just directly opposes it. So the overall idea here is that you need to go for it. I'm not sure if you're maybe having some hesitation or not being sure if you're going to be successful, or if it's worth the effort. It's kind of, that's what I'm getting. Is this worth the effort? Is it going to be worth it to do all this work, to put all this time in? And if you're sitting there questioning it, is this going to be worth it? Well, one, I'm already going to caution you that this is not what's the word I want to use? This way of viewing this project, idea, creative endeavor, whatever it is for you, if you're coming at it with a, is this going to be worth it type of attitude, I can already tell you, you're like starting off on the wrong foot. That is implying doubt. Now, there are ways to go about this in a comparison type of way of like, hey, is this feasible for me to do in this current moment, right? Because sometimes we do need to ask ourselves that. Otherwise, we get ourselves in these situations where we've like invested a lot into something, and then like we've either invested like too much, or the return is not what we were expecting, which that can happen with this Seven of Pentacles, where we did put a lot of effort into something and then we did not get back what we thought we were going to get back. So you do need to be very mindful and have some careful planning. You don't just plant things haphazardly. You have to know what season to plant it in, and what type of soil it needs to have, and what type of nutrients it needs to grow, and what plants can't be around it. And you have to, rotate your crops so that your soil stays more fertile, and not just zapping all the nutrients from one type of plant if you're consistently planting in that same area. So there's a lot of planning involved, right? It's very systematic, and you can't just haphazardly do something. But if you plan and you understand that, whether this is or isn't a good time, and if you decide it is a good time because it fits within your planning, then at that point, saying, well, is this going to be worth it, is doing a disservice to yourself, because there's some passive doubt there. There is some questioning. There is disbelief in whether or not you're going to be able to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish here. And that doubt, that disbelief, that seed, who says it's not going to grow? Why are we starting this project? It would be like planting these plants and then like throwing a couple like weed seeds in there, just being like, oh, it's fine. It'll be fine. How do we know it'll be fine? How do we not know that those are not going to grow and start taking nutrients from the things that we're trying to grow? That self-doubt. Self-doubt can definitely build on itself when things aren't going as according to plan. And you know what? This is like life. So rarely do things go like perfectly according to plan. And that's something, back to this idea of planning, that's something that we need to be aware and cognizant of, is if things don't go well for whatever reason, or these are some expected or potential difficulties I might face in this endeavor, here's how I'm going to combat them, right? Here is my plan on how I will get through them. I feel like this is a step that I personally don't think I've ever done this in any type of project that I've done, where I'm like, okay, here's the project, here's my goal, and then here's some things that I can see being like a potential issue. And, oh no. I don't like the mic being right here. It's kind of like throwing me off a little bit. Sorry. It's distracting me. But I have never come up with these like potential solutions to these problems that, you can easily think of like 2 to 3 problems that you could face. And that also helps, get your mind thinking about different ways to view things. And that just seems like a really like helpful thing to do. So, try it. I think I'm going to try it. That sounds like really good advice, actually. So I'm going to take that. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Anywho, if you guys go about this, make sure you're starting from this place of manifestation, this place of belief, this place of I have already accomplished it. And we know this because you have the 9 and 10. You have the ending of the cycle. You have the internal and the external. You have the now and the long term. Like, you got it, okay? So believe in yourself. Make sure that you're starting this from a place of self-belief, of self-confidence. Like, that is what manifestation in law of attraction is all about. If I'm putting yes, I can do it vibes out there, then that's what I'm asking to receive back. But if I'm putting out there like, I'm a little iffy, well, guess what? Then I'm going to get iffy vibes back. And I don't want iffy vibes. So put out what you want back. That's that. Oracle card, mountain lights, light beings, portals, subtle energies, subtle energies, subtle energies, subtle energies. Put out what you want back. Subtle energies, you know? One more time for emphasis. Subtle energies. Just, our thoughts are important, guys. Whether you verbalize them out loud or you think them internally only to yourself, like, our thoughts are so important. Everything starts with our thoughts. So, you know, make sure that you're being mindful of them. Make sure that they are in alignment with where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do. You know, just be more cognizant of what you're thinking about. Let's move on. Let's go down to these unexpected challenges, ways to overcome, and some oracle cards. Ooh, okay. I see. Okay, so let's start with these unexpected challenges. We have got the Nine of Cups in reverse. So a lack of internal emotional fulfillment or being closed off. We have got the Five of Cups in reverse. Five of Cups are so, I like the Five of Cups a lot. I feel like there's so many ways to read this card. And it's interesting being around friends of mine who also read tarot cards and just hearing their perspectives and like how they view things. So for some reason, I'm not sure why, but I have spent a lengthy amount of time contemplating the Five of Cups card and the symbolism and what it means to me, and the feelings that I get when I read it. And the thing with the Five of Cups is, if you look at it, he has 3 cups spilled over in front of him. He has 2 additional cups that are behind him on his robe. We are unable to see. Oh, and I just realized that these cups are each filled with something different because they're each a different color. Interesting. I've never noticed that. That is very cool. But he has these 2 other cups and they're sitting on his robe. And you can't see if they're full or not. I like to think that they are. And I like to think that he has to just accept that he has already lost these 3 cups. And he has to make a decision on, does he want to move forward and go to something new? Because if you look, he's looking out and there's a distance. The 5 is a period of transition in the tarot. And of, transition and, what is there's another word, just kind of, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of. Not ascension necessarily, but kind of that same idea of you have to go through this scenario in order to make it to this this other place that is different enough to warrant kind of like a test. It's not a test, but that's kind of like the best way I can like verbally describe it right now. I can like feel what it is and I can't like put it into actual words. But anyways, he has this choice of either staying put, which is in my viewpoint basically saying I will continue to do what I'm already doing, or he can move on to this building in the distance, this countryside, continue on his journey. But the thing is he has these cups on his robes, right? So should he choose to take a step forward and not stay stagnant where he is at, he is very likely going to tip these 2 cups over, okay? So he just has to make this conscious decision that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to knock them over because he is now transitioning into a new journey, a new pathway, new opportunities. Like, he could be standing there being like, oh, I don't want to walk because I have these 2 cups and like, I already lost these 3 cups. And like, what if I lose these 2 cups? I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be completely out. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So, so he stays. How many of us get stuck in that where you're like, oh, well, I don't know. Like, will I meet someone that's better? Will I have a job that pays more? Will I have a job that I love more? Will I have better relationships? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, what if I don't? And so we get stuck, right? We get stuck in the situation that we're in. And we already know that this situation is not great. We already lost 3 cups. We got 2 cups back here that we're like literally like chained to because we're so afraid to lose them that we don't move. And we stay stuck in this whole scenario, this whole situation. All the while, we can see just across the river, we can see there's a whole nother town, right? What if we go to this town? What if we say, you know what? I accept it. I accept that whatever this is, it is what it is. And it's no longer keeping me in a position that is advantageous to me. So I'm going to accept it. I'm going to take a step forward. I'm going to go to that town, and I'm going to know that in doing so, these other two cups, these other two chalices back here that I'm holding on to are likely going to fall and spill. But what if he gets to this town, this castle, housing, whatever it is? What if he gets there and they offer him 6 chalices? We don't know. You don't know until you get there. I mean, they could offer him none. Always an option. But we don't know. And there is always that opportunity of possibility. And I think if you were to go into this situation from a place of gratitude and kindness and, not selfishness, they're probably going to be much more likely to be like, oh, yeah, here you go, have as many chalices as you want, So the whole idea here of that very long story is that sometimes we just have to leave behind things that we are stuck in because they're comfortable or familiar to us, and go for things that are in the unknown. And it is scary, and it could not work out for you. You don't know because it's the unknown. But there's also this sense of opportunity. It could be better, You know the situation they're in now, and if you want your situation to change or be better, then staying stuck in the exact same situation is not how you do that, okay? So, don't get stuck in that situation. Also saying if you do get stuck in that situation, you're not going to have this emotional fulfillment that you are seeking. And you also have the 7 of Wands. To me, the 7 of Wands is having to just constantly be on your guard. So he is fending off all these other wands. It's very, very conflict induced, very active. You have some really passive cards over here, but this is a very active energy where you feel like you can't take a break. You feel like you have to just keep doing whatever it is that you're doing right now. And if you took a moment to breathe or to slow your schedule down or say, hey, I need some rest, you feel like you're going to be behind, or maybe you're trying to get like a job promotion or a new career or something with your finances, and you don't feel like you have this opportunity to take this rest that you need. And I just want to remind you, it's important to rest. I'm being drawn right now in your solutions cards. You have the Wheel of Fortune, Cycle, once again, card number 10. If you're in this place where you're feeling like you're stuck because you have this thing that you want to do and you're really debating on whether you should do it or not, because you have something else going on in your life that's taking a lot of energy for you, and you feel like you don't want to be wasting time and effort and finances and energy and just resources as a whole on whatever this new venture is, because you don't know if it's going to work out and you're already like kind of struggling with things. But if you stay in the same situation that you're in right now, you're going to stay in the same situation that you're in right now. And the Wheel is a reminder that there is a turning of events. There's always a turn of events. It's not going to be bad forever, but it's also not going to be good forever. The tides change, and there's duality in all things. There's positive, and then there's negative, and there's all this gray space in between. And we don't know how long each of those are going to last, and we don't know when we're going to be in that weird middle space where it's like not great, but it's not bad either. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's the space that you're in right now, is where it's not great, but it's not bad either. 5 of Cups, you lost 3, but you still got 2. maybe you can, you know, grab them before it falls, you know, and drink it before you move. You never know. It doesn't hurt to try. You also have the Prince of Wands, which is the Knight. The Knight of Wands. So you have the Page and the Knight. And for quite some time, my nose itches again. I'm pretty sure my nose itched last time when I talked about the Page of Wands. So that's, oh my gosh. And now I said it again, it's also itching. I don't know why I'm getting such a reaction to these two cards specifically. They're also right on top of each other. So that is interesting. And they're both looking the same direction. Unless, maybe this card is Prince, no. I'm pretty sure the Prince is the Knight, and the Princess, no, I think I'm wrong. I think the Prince and the Page is correct. Sometimes these decks, they name their cards differently, and I have to remember what correlates to what. But I do actually think these are both the pages because the cards are making the exact same shapes. I hope this mic situation is not totally distracting. Okay. I'm going to view these both as the Page. I do believe they are the Page. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if it's the Page or the Knight. I'm getting the same type of vibe from both of them. So, you know, it's just like, go for it. Go for this inspiration. Yeah, obviously that's what it is, because like this whole card is saying, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. So the only way to not get stuck is to realize that things are ever changing, ever turning, and to go for it, to do it. Whether this is the Page or the Knight, I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's still, like, I'm still just getting this energy of like, go for it, do it. Like, that's what I keep hearing. Go for it, do it. Go for it, do it. You know? You have to. If you want there to be change, like, you have to create that change yourself. Change doesn't just happen out of nowhere. You have to put it into action. You have to be the creator of your life. Funny, I say that too as I'm looking over at this oracle card. Says the Weaver, weaving the threads of fate. So are there some things that are destined to happen to us? Probably. I think so. You may not, and that's okay. But I feel like there are some things that are destined for us. Not things necessarily that we will do, but situations, options, circumstances that will be provided to us no matter what. Now, should we choose to go after those is a whole nother question. That is up to us, and we have free will, free choice. So just because we are being given these options doesn't mean that we are going to be taking them. So once again, just another reminder of like, you have to choose to do the different things. Like, you know, maybe fate, maybe the universe, maybe source energy, whatever, maybe God, whatever you subscribe to, whatever higher being you believe in. What if they are putting this inspiration into your mind as like your sign to like, go for it? You want to change your situation? Well, here you go. Here's how you do it. You go for it. But you still have to make the choice. Are you going to do it? Or are you going to let it pass you by? Or are you going to wait? Maybe you'll do it later. No one says you have to do it right now. But I think if it's really like plaguing you right now, then I feel like that has, you know, some significance to it. Your other oracle card says we're all mad here. Everyone is a little different. I think that's just a reminder. I think whatever you're doing right now, you want to be doing something more unconventional. I feel like you have some sort of occupation or way of living right now that is kind of conventional-ish, like a conventional job, like not necessarily a 9-to-5, but the idea of a 9-to-5, that type of conventionalism. And I feel like you want to maybe do something that's not conventional, or something that could be risky, something that maybe you're getting some pushback from friends or family or loved ones. Not necessarily telling you not to do it, but maybe showing some concern that you are going to be not successful or unable to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And that is giving you a little bit of doubt and a little bit of stagnation in going forward with these plans. 5 of Cups, he's halted. He's not going to the city yet. He still has these 2 cups, you know. So just remember, a reminder, there's many pathways in life, and there's no one right way, one wrong way, nothing like that. So it's okay to do something different. It's okay to take a risk. Like I said, make sure you're doing it in a methodical, planned out way. Don't just haphazardly be doing stuff because that's not going to be very advantageous. But if you are planning things out prior to, then I think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with trying something out. And if it doesn't work out, that's life, you know. Sometimes things don't work out. Not everything's going to go great. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. The wheel, like I said, you know, there's always good, but there's always bad, and they're ever in flux with one another. So can't live your life, though, based on, like, is this always going to go good? Like, sometimes you got to take risks. And speaking of that, we have the Sun in reverse for your final card. So remember, these are going to be like the lenses at which to view things throughout the month. You have the 4 of Pentacles. I totally I was thinking of the 4 of Pentacles earlier. I didn't look at this card until just now. I thought it was the 5. But I was thinking about the 4 of Pentacles up here. And so I just think that's very interesting that it's down here. Maybe subconsciously I saw it and like internalized it. I don't know. But I was very strongly getting this 4 of Pentacles energy up here earlier, where it's talking about like, don't be greedy, don't be stingy. Don't come from a place of scarcity, especially a scarcity mindset with that whole like, ooh, is this going to work? When you're going into it with this scarcity mindset, this inability to bring to fruition whatever it is that you're trying to bring into fruition, or this self-doubt, like I said, you're like, it's like throwing seeds of weeds in with your plants. You know, they're going to germinate and they're going to start growing and they're going to start sucking nutrients, and you don't know which one of those is going to thrive. So how about we just not throw them, right? Like, why even take the chance? We don't have to. We don't have to take that chance. There's no point. There's definitely no benefit. Only either neutral outcomes or negative outcomes. So don't start from a place of scarcity. Make sure that you are going into this with a very can-do, have done, am doing type of mindset. Because remember, we need to, in order for this manifestation process to be as strong as possible, like, you have to really believe in it. You have to feel it. You have to be living your life like it has already happened. You're already in that state of being. And along with that, make sure you guys have the Sun in reverse. Make sure you guys are also viewing all of this from a state of gratitude. That's what I'm really getting with the Sun. Whenever I see the Sun or the Star in reverse, I do like to remind you that those are still really positive energies, whether they're in the reverse or the upright. No matter what, the Sun is the Sun. It is still shining its light, you know, on the situation. But make sure that you are keeping a space of gratitude in your heart, especially if things are maybe not working out as you anticipated or planned on them to be working out. Or maybe you're just like, you know, having some hiccups or a little bit of self-doubt or whatever it is, whatever potential little, you know, road bump that you might be experiencing. Just take the time to reevaluate and know that there's always a place of gratitude in whatever situation that you're in. And it can be challenging to find that, especially in certain circumstances. And I'm not saying that this is like something you should do in all cases. You know, take this as a very generalized, broad suggestion, please. But in most cases, you can find a positive in a seemingly negative situation. I actually had a really great discussion with someone yesterday. We were talking about dating, and they were asking me, what did he ask me? Something about what was frustrating me about my previous like dating experiences. And I responded with, I was tired of wasting my time with people, because it has felt like that before. And I said it kind of, not 100% something that I meant. I did, to a degree, it definitely felt like that way. But also just kind of like an exaggeration, right, of emotion. And he's like, oh, well, but are you really wasting your time? Because, every failed relationship, situation, connection, whatever, you're learning more about yourself and you're learning more about like what you want. And I knew all this, I kind of was just exaggerating for the sake of exaggerating. But it's a really good point, that even in these moments of time, of situations, of experiences where we feel like maybe we wasted time, or we put a lot of effort into something and we didn't get it back, and now we are hurt, and put a lot of time into something and didn't get it back. The Seven of Pentacles can definitely signify that. And now we're hurt. And sometimes that gives us a reluctancy to try something again, or we get kind of pessimistic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have the Seven of Wands again. So interesting. Yeah. You guys don't have to keep feeling like you're fighting. Let that go. Let that idea of I have to keep going, I have to keep fighting, I have to do more and more and more and more and more. Let that go. You guys are overworking yourselves, and you guys are not going to be able to come from a place of gratitude, because you're so exhausted trying to do whatever this is that you're just like emotionally spent. You're emotionally spent. That's what it's saying. So you guys just rest. Same type of message actually I got for Aries. I believe yesterday was kind of like having a more restful experience. I just feel like now that we're like moving into this new zodiac energy year, to me, there just feels like there's this really big shift of energy where it was like really intense, like really big monumental rebirth type of ending and beginning of cycles. And now it just feels like this calmer energy. Not that it's less important, but it just feels not so heavy. I got the same feeling for Aries yesterday in their reading. I'm getting it for you as well. So if you've been going through anything like super intense, I do feel like that's going to also calm down a bit. But you guys still need to, if you want to change your circumstances, change your circumstances. Like it's both as easy and as hard as that. So kick the self-doubt. You guys will be successful if you choose to be successful, and if you come from a place of genuine gratitude. Make sure you guys are resting. Take some time for yourselves. Know that whatever situation you're in, it can change. It will change. But you guys are the creators. You are the creators of this whole thing. So don't be afraid to be the creator, okay? Thank you so much for being here. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you have not done so yet, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate everyone who does so. Please let me know in the comments if this resonated with you or what else you would maybe like to see from me. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.